business growth, lunch and learn, goal setting and accountability in the new year, how befitting. It's January and we're going to get a great jump on the year.
As I mentioned yesterday, we're sales folks, we're not mathematicians, but if you're working on a calculus problem, right, what do they teach you to do? They teach you to simplify the equation into its simplest form. And so I think that's what Lewis and I have tried to do, is create a formula for you guys that is in its simplest form the derivative of the most successful people that you see here. So these formulas give you an idea of where to focus. So if your contact rate is really high, but your close rate is really low, that means you need to work on your pitch. Something you're saying to the folks in the C-suite is not coming across the way you wanted it to.
So just pinpoint exactly where you might need help. And I think that's the biggest part in just achieving the goal, making sure we're talking to as many decision makers as we can per day, and therefore just leads to more appointments and more closed deals, and that's what we're here for.
It's just like stepping in the batter's box playing baseball. If you're missing the off-speed pitches, you shift up in the box. If you're getting burned by fastballs, you move back in the box. If you're getting jammed, you move out. If you can't hit the outside pitch, you move in. We're always making adjustments from pitch to pitch, hour to hour, dial by dial, on how you can kind of, chase an appointment, hunt down the money you want to make. And I think this is the formula to do so.
One of our big things that we were centering around was motivation. Mine is, when I was down, my family was there to pick me up, and I want to be able to, give back to them. So that's my why. And I walk in here every day with an entrepreneurial state of mind, right? Although this is Arsenal, this is our business. When I come in and call for my clients, it's my business. You're building your book of business and building theirs. It's the difference between people that, have what they need and the people that don't. The people that don't aren't afraid to go out there and make it happen because they have that dog inside of them. So
That dog.
unleash the dog.
Let's go.
And grow your business and watch your bank account grow.
And I spent about 3.5 years at home during COVID on my computer. Didn't work with anybody, so I was alone. So I think it's really cool. I just wanted to start off by saying the environment we have here is really awesome. It's super unique. And you don't really get that opportunity when you're at home. You're working remote. You're able to just talk with others, get insights. My first month here, I got all my clients pretty fast. I think it was in with a week or two, and I was not really ready. I hopped on the phones in like 3 days, and was pretty nervous. Jumped into calls, and I got 30 appointments my first month with my 4 clients. And it was weird because I was like, oh, I'm pretty good at this job. This will be easy. And I got a rude awakening. The next month, I was like not getting appointments at all. I think it took like a couple weeks to get an appointment. So that was a tough thing on my mindset. And that's kind of what I wanted to touch on today, is just a couple mindset tactical tips you can kind of keep in mind if you get into slumps. So just never think about the rejection as it's yourself. Just think about it as something they're dealing with and just move on. I know a lot of people have like trouble with that rejection, and that it's like, I just laugh it off. So like if I have someone who's like rude to me or like, whatever it is, I just kind of laugh it off, like whatever, next call, move on. And patience. So like this job is all about patience, and it's all about setting the goals and being patient with yourself for not only like your clients closing deals, but just seeing progress just every day. So the things you do in a 30-day span is something that you'll see a result of 60, 90, 120 days out.
But that's where I get a lot of my motivation from, is I think of every new call as a challenge. Okay, this person that I'm calling, probably not gonna, like me or be mad that I'm calling them in the middle of the day on their cell phone, but I'm gonna think of that as a challenge. Okay, what can I say to make this guy, at least give me the time of day to talk to him, follow up with them whenever it is. But you're just having that idea that there is something out there. You just got to make it happen yourself. Because, you know, a busy person never really has time to be unhappy if you think about it. So while it might seem a little morbid, you know, at the same time, you're out there bettering yourself. You know, you're working towards something. You start to get some good tips from these books, and you start to realize, okay, there's a change that I have to make somewhere in here. Also, if you don't have something like reading, you know, trying something new. Like that was something with this job. I've never done sales before, but every call is you're trying something new. Like find what works for you, and you know, keep at that.
Your clients seem to love you. You get consistent high scores from them. I don't think it's inappropriate to say that they probably think that you're invaluable at this point. What do you do with your clients specifically that keeps them so happy, aside from just setting meetings?
You know, just being personable, being transparent with them, letting them know what's going on. You know, you want to have a friendship with them, but at the same time, you know, a professional standing with them. So you let them know that you're serious about the job. So whether if you're getting lower appointments, you know, you let them know, okay, hey, we're a little bit lower right now, but I'm going to make some extra dials for you this month. I'm going to make sure you get the touches in there. We're going to have a lot of new clients to call next month, and we'll make up for that. So it's kind of just finding that common ground, making sure that they know that you're working hard, even when things aren't looking up for you guys. Just know, you know, it's right around the corner.
I sat and looked down, and one of my clients had 40 meetings, and nothing had closed yet. And it's like, you know, why, you know, does this work? I'm hearing other people closing deals, and, you know, it's trying to believe that the process is real and it works. And I think it was like 8 weeks in that time. In about 8 weeks, I had 3 deals closed for that client, and it was game changing. It changed my life financially, being able to invest in money, having extra money on the side to do things. So when I get out of bed in the morning, I think of that. Like, I want to replicate that. I want to do that again. It works. And if you don't have a success story like that, to be able to sell yourself, right? When we're talking to prospects, selling our clients' success stories, when you wake up in the morning, you know, you have to sell yourself to motivate you. You're kind of like your drivers. And if you don't have that success story or something to cling on to, you might have to do a little bit of outside work, but come in early after work. I remember I did a lot of stuff during lunch. It doesn't have to be crazy, but if you replicate your successes and practice good form, the success will fall. You know, you learn through your failures, you omit that, but the success you replicate, and something will fall eventually.
So if you open this up, the key performance indicators on the back, there's a little sheet that looks at your year at a glance. Some of you have probably already seen this if you have an SEO client. Like, I've been going through this for this month, kind of doing a soft rollout. It might look a little bit different. Got the Arsenal red in there now, and a few more metrics to kind of look at. You know, we talked about the key performance indicators earlier, you know, close percentages, contact rate. If you can hold yourself to a 10% contact rate with a 10% close rate, that's like 1 appointment for every 100 phone calls, or in essence 5 appointments every 500 phone calls, which is the minimums that we hit for our clients, right? Every month might not be the same, but over time you'll see that average out, and that's the keys to success that I used to have over, you know, 21 appointments a month for an entire year, my last full year being a sales rep. And I want to share that with you guys, because I want to see everybody go from, you know, 10 appointments a month to 15 and 20, because that's the difference in making the bare minimum and finding yourself with $100,000. And like guys like Joe said, you know, extra money financially, you know, this job changing your life. You just have to kind of know where you're at, and this is easily able to see how you can get better.
I know you were one of the first SDRs to hit 100K on your base plus commission. What did you do, I guess, to replicate your success for number of appointments per month for a whole year? And then how did maintaining that discipline help you hit 100K?
The way I looked at it was, if I fell short of 20 appointments in a month, I considered myself failing. I held myself to really high standards, and if that meant working longer hours or putting some more intentional work behind my dials, I didn't want to have a bunch of no-ops and did not leave voicemails because I know my messaging is going nowhere. You know, I've talked about leaving voicemails. You leave 50 voicemails or even 100 voicemails and it gets you a call back and an appointment. Number one, that's an inbound lead essentially at that point. They know exactly what you do and they're interested and they want to set up a time to talk, so it probably has a higher close rate. And I wanted anything and everything. So my records, my contact field, if you look at name, title, and email, and that's all you're getting, if you've got appointments set with people where you don't even have a last name, it's the quality of work at hand. I wanted everything. LinkedIn's, I wanted email, cell phones. I wanted the cell phones and the direct line. I wanted every piece of competitive intelligence, whether that be location, servers and users, digital marketing strategies, or square footage of roofing buildings. Like, I wanted all of that stuff, even if I didn't get the appointment, because I had everything I needed to get that next appointment. And I really just had conversations with people. And I let them know, I'm not here to change what you're doing simply over a cold call. I'm not that good at my job. But if you give me the time to show you what I can do for you, at the bare minimum, you'll walk away from this conversation knowing more than when you went in and who to come to when you're ready to make a change to the guys that know how to get it done. And that alone, like I think it was Myles saying, you put in that work for your first 30, 60, 90 days in a new pipeline, those conversations come back to be appointments 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, and even a year down the road. You're setting yourself up for the future, finding the low-hanging fruit along the way. And after you get in 6 months, it's just a constant repetition of the same people you've been calling, and they know you by name.
The employee assistance program's available. There's a lot of reading that I did around kind of anxiety and mental fortitude, stress. You know, we have great resources that are available and provided by Arsenal through your health programs and the EAP. That's really terrific. Not to mention 40 some odd people and leaders that really do care about your success.